Most people see a crate of rations or a crate of ammunition as a simple unit of value. But a wise general looks at that same crate and sees 1,000 miles of labor. 1 unit of enemy stores is worth 20 of your own. This is the lesson of unseen logistics. It is the understanding that a bullet fired at the front is not just a piece of lead. It is the culmination of processing, packing, fuel, vehicles, and the precious time of the people back home. Why the ratio of 20 to 1? Because when you send supplies from your homeland into enemy territory, you are paying a massive distance tax. Every mile that crate travels, it consumes fuel. It requires a driver who could be a soldier. It requires an escort to protect it from being a soft target. By the time that supply reaches the soldier's hand, its cost to the state has multiplied 20-fold. But when you capture that same unit from the enemy, you pay 0 in transport, you pay 0 in processing, and most importantly, you have subtracted that value from your opponent while adding it to yourself. This is the ultimate double multiplier. In the brutal landscape of 2026, we see this ancient math dictating the survival of nations in the Russia-Ukraine war. Take the trophy economy. By April 2026, the trophy economy has become a formalized pillar of the Ukrainian defense. Since the start of the conflict, thousands of Russian tanks and armored vehicles have been captured. In the 2026 spring offensive, Ukrainian trophy brigades specialized in rapid refurbishment. Every Russian T-90 tank captured and turned back against its former owners is worth 20 tanks shipped from a Western factory. It's already on the field. It requires no transatlantic shipping, and it uses the enemy's own abandoned shell caches. Take the logistics strike. We see the flip side of this in the logistics kill. By early 2026, Ukraine's mid-range strike campaign has reached a fever pitch, conducting over 11,000 drone combat missions per day. They aren't just targeting soldiers, they are targeting the 20 to 1 vulnerability. By destroying a single Russian fuel depot or rail bridge, they are effectively erasing weeks of work and millions of rubles spent in the Russian heartland. They are forcing the enemy to pay the transport cost over and over again for supplies that never arrive. Sun Tzu offers us a psychological blueprint for this strategy. He tells us that in order to kill the enemy, our men must be brought to anger. But to benefit from victory, they must have their rewards. When 10 or more chariots, or in our case tanks, are taken, reward the ones who took the first. Don't just destroy the equipment, swap the flags. Mingle the captured gear with your own. And perhaps most controversially, treat captured soldiers with kindness. This isn't just mercy, it is a strategy. By using the conquered foe to augment your own strength, you turn the enemy's initial investment into your own final victory. Here is your war tip. Transporting provisions into enemy lands is a slow poison for your treasury. Taking them from the enemy is the only way to sustain the fire. In war, let your great object be victory, not lengthy campaigns. The leader who masters these unseen logistics is a true arbiter of the people's fate. They are the ones who decide if the nation shall live in peace or be consumed by the peril of a bankrupting war. A general who counts the bullets is a soldier. A general who counts the miles it took the bullets to get there is a master. We have just completed our analysis of this lesson. 1 unit of enemy stores is worth 20 of your own. In the grand tempo calculation, this is the final weight on the scales. It reminds us that victory isn't just about who has the most soldiers or the best tanks. It's about who understands the unseen costs of distance. To send a single unit of supply from your homeland is to pay a distance tax of 20 times its value in fuel, time, and human effort. But to capture that same unit, That is a zero-cost windfall that multiplies your strength while hollowing out your opponents. As we stand in April 2026, the Russia-Ukraine war has become the world's most expensive classroom for this lesson. Take the 20-1 strike. Look at the Ukrainian logistics skill campaign. In March 2026 alone, Ukrainian drone forces conducted over 11,000 combat missions per day, striking verified targets that represented the veins of the Russian army. By destroying a single fuel depot or a rail bridge in the Belgorod or Rostov regions, Ukraine effectively erases the thousands of miles of unseen costs Russia paid to get those supplies there. The Kremlin is forced to pay the distance tax over and over again for material that never reaches the front. Take the trophy economy as a strategy. Ukraine's trophy brigades have turned Sun Tzu's advice into a physical reality. By April 2026, thousands of Russian tanks and armored vehicles have been captured and repurposed. Every Russian shell found in an abandoned trench is a shell that didn't have to travel 500 miles from a Ukrainian factory. As Sun Tzu taught, our own flags should be substituted for those of the enemy, and the chariots mingled and used in conjunction with ours. In 2026, this mingling is what sustains the defense when Western supply lines face political and physical friction. Here is your final war tip for the 2026 landscape. Efficiency is the only true sustainment. Transport is a poison. Every mile of supply line is a soft target. Capture is a cure. The enemy's warehouse is your most economical pantry. And victory is the object. Lengthy campaigns are for those who haven't done the math. In your own leadership, whether in a complex technical project or a strategic campaign, ask yourself, are you paying the 20-1 cost because you refuse to look for local solutions? Are you dragging a heavy chain when you could be secret and supple? Sun Tzu reminds us that the leader of armies is the arbiter of the people's fate. On your shoulders rests the decision. Will the nation be in peace because you were efficient, or in peril because you were wasteful?